this before, so please excuse me if I give my haw a little. Um, and I waited until I was retired um, to tell my story. Um, a little background. I've heard voices in my head about 5 or 6 times over a 20-year period. Um, Usually it's nothing earth-shattering. It was just do this, do that, more just advising me um, in life. Um, it's nothing I've ever tried to make happen. It shocked the hell out of me the first time and every time. Um, but this instant is very different. I've never had anything like this happen before. And like I said, it actually happened about 4 years ago, but I waited until I retired um, to speak of this. And closest thing I can relate it to is a third eye experience, which I've sort of heard of. I, again, have done nothing to want this to happen. It just happens, and this was no different. Um, so a little background on me before I jump in. I do suffer from PTSD, or childhood post-traumatic stress disorder. So I do have like anxiety and depression. I take one pill called venlafaxine. This helps me with my anxiety and depression and hot flashes, lovely hot flashes. Um, but I've always sort of suffered from depression, and so I love TED Talks, and I resort to them often. And so I was, on the hunt and going through different anxiety relief, depression, what to do, how to fix it, all that kind of stuff. And I happened upon one. I can't recall the gentleman, but and this is no swipe at him, but there was a TED talk about depression, and he started speaking along the lines that it's a choice, and for whatever reason, that flew all over me. It actually angered me um, to the point I turned it off, and I stomped out of the living room, and I came here to where I'm sitting right now in my bedroom. I literally flopped on the bed like a toddler and just wanted to punch something, and I started punching my mattress. Like I said, like a toddler, I was it just upset me. So how dare you say that I'm choosing to be this way? I fought this all my life. It just, for some reason, it just really angered me. And so I punched my bed about 3 times, and I realized, well, that kind of hurts. So, and then I ended up sitting much how I'm sitting now, just on the side of my bed. And I started trying to calm myself, but I was doing it in a manner to where I was sort of belittling myself, or belittling my feelings. Um, I started talking to myself just in my head, just me and my brain, going like, there's other girls that's had it much, much worse. Plenty of girls were, really hurt, really. You know, I just started like trying to minimize what had happened to me, and uh, in the midst of me telling myself to, stop whining about it and just get on, I had this screen appear right behind me, and I'm pointing like you're going to see something, and you're not. But um, it was like TV size, and it was like it was painted with a neon border, but it was imperfect. It was in my mind, I could just see it so clearly, but it was just like an imperfect little drawn screen, but it was just so vivid, and it was right here, and it didn't matter whether I closed my eyes or had my eyes open. If I closed my eyes, my room disappeared, but the screen was still there, and it just showed like this little round circle thing, and in my head I got, this is an atom. An atom is 99.999% empty space. And I'm like, okay. And it was like it was waiting like it's meaning. And I'm like I'm having to follow along. Like I got a teacher standing behind me, but it's in my head. And then the screen was as clear as I have never seen that clear in my life. It's like everything I've seen after that, I want to peel the film off, but the screen and everything that appeared on the screen was the most crystal clear I've ever seen anything. And the colors, I cannot, I can only like try to describe them as sort of like a neon, like everything glowed. And but it was a very simple, the first picture I'm looking at was just a very simple picture of what I assume is an atom. Um, so I'm again okay, and then the picture changes, and this this picture from, if you've ever seen the movie The Sorcerer's Apprentice, I'm sorry, it's an old movie, but it was one of the flashes that I saw Nicolas Cage and the young gentleman that plays in the movie. I don't know his name, but it keyed in on this big cage that they had in the movie where this lightning bolt could just shoot around this cage. I don't know what it's called, but it's sort of like this came to the forefront, and the images of the characters just moved off past, and it was like, remember the scene, like it was, you know, having the lightning bolt shoot around. And it's taken me from the atom to this. And then it's like, so the lightning bolt sort of shooting around the cage, and then it goes to where just the lightning bolt comes out and the cage moves away, and there's just this big like lightning bolt in front of me, and I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden there's two little pieces that come out of the lightning bolt, and it just goes, are these the same? And I'm like, and I could almost like feel like somebody's patting their foot, like, follow me here. And I'm like, well, yes, I'm assuming, you did it. It's perfect. They're the same. And again, this voice is in my head, and it's not my me voice, my typical yammering voice. This is a voice that's outside of my head. I mean, it's in my head, but I don't know. But it's just like somebody's talking to me, but my voice. Okay, anyway, back to the little, pulling the little boxes out of the lightning bolt. And it just said, well, what would happen if I release these? And I'm thinking, trying to sound intelligent, well, the laws of attraction, that energy would return back to whence it came, that it would want to go back to the lightning bolt. And then these little boxes turned into like little batteries. And then there was like this conveyor belt of people. And it just started putting the battery in each person. And like this person went off and they became a policeman. And put the battery in this, and this person goes off and becomes a doctor. And so on. And all of a sudden, at the same time, there's like I feel like I'm getting information downloaded to my brain as this is going on, and there's this conversation and this lessons going in the screen here. There's like I feel like I'm getting this understanding that lightning bolt was like our source, and as it's taking, and it's like I said, it's throwing these little like little batteries and into each individual. I'm understanding that this is sort of like our soul going into each one, and that they're all identical. It's like he made a soul. The soul's perfect. You don't then make another soul, you just clone it. And so what was shown to me is that it's one source. We're literally just like a ladle going in and pouring, and it's all this. We're all the same inside. It's our brain that makes us different, or makes us feel unique, and makes us feel that we're an individual, because we are. This is our individual vehicle. But then the screen started showing it. It showed me, looking back at me, and it was my green eyes and my smile. And then the face changed to my sister, but my sister has brown eyes, but it was my eyes and my smile. And then it changed to my friend, but it was my eyes, and it just started going faster, faster, faster. And it was all these people that are close to me in my life that I've known for a long time, people that have passed, and every time that showed their face, it was my eyes and my smile looking back at me. And again, as this is happening, I feel like I'm getting this downloaded information that I understand, but it's like, it's genius, but it's mind blowing. And I literally did this. And I stood up and I was like, enough. And okay. And then it stopped, and then it just said, just be an example. And that was it. It was gone. I walked around the house for, I know, 2 hours. Just going, what just happened? What just happened? What just happened? Again, on this screen, I saw clearer than I've ever seen in my life. And I tell you, for the next 2 to 3 days, I walked around and I kept feeling like I just wanted to pull the film back. Like I can't see as clear as I did in that vision. I want to see like that. But let's say for the first couple of days, it was like I could see almost like the glow coming off things, and it took a while to sink in that it's not just human souls. It's that this one source that is in us all is that quiet passenger. And when your life's over, you sort of do your last little upload. that light that leaves you, it takes everything. It takes your personality. It takes uh, your your memories. Um, Everything gets uploaded to a cloud. And so, from my understanding, and I'll try to sum all this up to not ramble on. It was an amazing experience. I never had another one like it. Um, I did get the voice again like a couple of weeks later because I was driving myself crazy, thinking that I have to sell everything I have and move to Myanmar and start an orphanage. I don't know. I just thought I was like, I have to do something. And about like just about 3 weeks later, I said I was driving myself crazy, and the voice goes, "What was the last thing I said to you?" And that was it. And as soon as it said it, I dropped my head, and I was like, "Just give an example." And so that's what I want to try to do. And from my understanding of everything that happened, is there's no judgment. We've been taught all our lives. Oh my gosh, I grew up in church. Please don't tell me to find the Bible. Please don't tell me I need Jesus. I've been there, done that. Um, I'm a theist. I believe there is a God. I know there's a God, but my understanding of the Bible is written by man to control women and minorities. But I don't want to get in a biblical argument with anyone. You have every right to believe what you want to believe. The reason I'm doing this is I want to understand what happened. If you've had any experience like this happen, I'd love to hear about it. Um, I kind of scoured YouTube to see if there was anything quite like it, and I wish I had some slides and all this stuff to show you and walk you through the experience, but there's no way I could recreate that. And I wasn't on drugs. I wasn't, drinking anything like that. I was upset when it happened. I don't know if that was just the trigger. I'm assuming it was. But was this a psychosis? um, I just call it a lesson. Um, it helped me realize that we are that energy source in your DNA, and then you have your life perspective, and that makes you your whole life this unique experience. But that there is no judgment because you're not going to be judged for your physical brain that was given to you through your lineage. Um, I know it sounds crazy to think there is no judgment. What about killers? Well, it's their brain reacted that way. We're all here given free will to do whatever you want. You, but your inner drive is to make things to make things right. When you're doing good, it feels good. So I'm not going to keep on because I'm not a psychologist, but I did want to just share my experience. And again, if you're just going to preach the Bible to me, please don't. I'll just ignore your comments, but I really would like to hear an explanation if you have one. Thank you for your time.